What is happening, everyone? Sam Roberts, Mitch Ponder, here to talk about sports. Today's episode, we're talking Hall of Fame Class 2017 NFL, and we're giving our final thoughts on the incredible Super Bowl of last week. So, Mitchell, Hall of Fame class starting number one. Tomlinson, Warner, Davis, Jones, Anderson, Easley. What do you think?
I agree with all those. I think it's a good. Those are good. I like that.
But you've been very clear that you thought there should have been a seventh member of that class.
Yes.
That should have been Terrell Owens.
Yes, easily should have made it. Second receiving yards in career. Third in receiving touchdowns. There's not much else that needs to be said.
I don't think there is. And also besides that, he was. I agree 100% with that. By the way, he should have been in this class.
Should have been in it last year.
Think about Terrell Owens. He's just. I mean, even if he wasn't one of the best receivers in his time, which he was. He was just such a personality. It was impossible for people not to notice him.
Exactly.
When he played. He was always the center of attention. He was the larger than life football icon that the NFL always strives to create.
Right. He just didn't do it the right way, so they don't like him.
Well, he was brash about it too. He was very
didn't hold back.
He didn't hold back. The thing is that's gonna be really sad is that a guy who's eligible next year, who's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, that Terrell Owens should have been, is Terrell Owens' best friend and also former enemy, Randy Moss.
Right.
Moss should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Why shouldn't T.O. be a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Exactly.
Had maybe better numbers than Moss at times in his career.
And they're right there together.
They're right there together, and so you can't use the excuse of, hey, we can't compare eras. They played at the exact same time. Their careers were intertwined for decades. They both came in the league around the same time. They both were amazing. They played against each other tons of times. Moss with the Vikings, the Raiders, Patriots, and the San Francisco. T.O. with San Francisco, Philadelphia,
Cowboys.
Dallas, Buffalo, Cincinnati, Seattle. Yeah.
Well, he didn't even really. He didn't make the team in Seattle, so
no, he didn't.
Can't really count them.
You can't really say anything there, but he played preseason for him. With the with the Bengals, basically where he ended his career in Cincinnati.
Yep.
After a kind of dismal season, but if you remember the train wreck of 2010,
yes.
The Bengals were 4-12.
It was bad.
It was just ugly that year. But yeah, T.O. should be Hall of Famer.
Should have been first ballot.
Should have been first ballot too. You're right.
But it is what it is.
Yeah, unfortunately. So now on to well, first of all, you think there's anyone else that should have been included of the guys that were in the? You were also saying you could have seen Ty Law make the class.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know his stats, but
they were pretty good.
Just knowing
he was just
who he is.
The numbers don't speak for them. The numbers don't do a lot of the talking. For cornerbacks, at least. For cornerbacks, the number one way to judge how great they are is how many times did they get thrown at.
Right.
Ty Law didn't get thrown at a lot, and for good reason. So numbers are deceiving to defensive backs because they don't have numbers to show how many times quarterbacks looked and said, I'm not throwing it over there because Ty Law is standing over there. And Ty Law's, at one point, might have been the best corner in the NFL.
Right.
Playing for the Patriots and for the Chiefs. And for the, he was so good in New England when he played there.
He was.
So good. The Super Bowl, they had him on, most of that game, they had him on Torrey Holt. And he literally shut down Torrey Holt. For most of that game. Then, I think in the second half, they started moving him. Belichick moved him over to Isaac Bruce a little bit at times and would let Warfield get on Holt. Well, now I'm just getting statistical about it, but yeah. Yeah, we digress. But so,
How about that Super Bowl? Super Bowl 51.
Wow.
Sam. What do you think?
To be honest, I literally was just like, okay, this game is over. Because it's 21-0. It's 28-9. And then Patriots get a field goal. It's 28-12. They get a touchdown. It's 28. They get a touchdown. They go through. It's 28-20. You're like, this is a game. Then down 28-20. Atlanta goes down the field. Julio Jones makes a sensational play.
They're in field goal range.
Then they get knocked out because Ryan gets sacked.
Right. Well, the holding penalty.
Well, the holding penalty screwed them big time. But
and then he gets sacked.
And then he gets dropped. Then Matt Bryant lines up from 56, and he can't make it. Patriots get the ball. Tom Brady gets down the field. James White gets a touchdown. They run it to classic in out route, or the classic zip route to Amendola, and it works to perfection. And now it's 28-28 with 55 seconds to go. Atlanta, horrible clock management.
Yeah.
Allows time to expire on them. Goes to overtime. New England goes 79 yards in 6 plays, and they win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
In overtime. First Super Bowl that's ever been to overtime.
Right.
First time in all history that an overtime game has occurred in the Super Bowl. But my takeaway from that is, I'm going to say this. And if you disagree with me, comment, tweet me. But I'm going to say this. Tom Brady, best quarterback in NFL history.
Yeah, it's that win solidified it.
That win sealed the deal.
He was already there, and then
you can't say anymore that
just separated
that Manning's
him from
better, than
Montana.
Montana's better, than he's the best in NFL history now. Because of that.
Sure.
Not just because of that win. Obviously, there's more to him than just the Super Bowls. But that's a main part of that, is how good he is. Just so late in games. If you are down, if the Patriots are losing at the 2-minute warning and they have the ball, in Tom Brady on the field, that's a guaranteed win for them at this point. Because Tom Brady will just come back and win. If the Patriots are down the 2-minute warning, if the Patriots are within one possession at the 2-minute warning and they have the ball and they need to score to win, they can already celebrate.
Other teams' defense should be scared.
Well, they might as well go ahead and pour the Gatorade on Belichick at that point, because Tom Brady's just going to get them down the field and win the football game somehow, some way.
Right.
And he doesn't. The thing he's done it. He's won with so many different weapons throughout the years.
Exactly.
Deion Branch, Kevin Falk, Corey Dillon, Randy Moss, Wes Welker, Danny Amendola, Edelman, Gronk,
LaFell when he was
Brandon
there.
LaFell. Brandon Lloyd.
Now James White with Garrett
James
Blunt.
White with Garrett Blunt. Ben Jarvis Green Ellis. Lawrence Maroney. Heath Evans. So many.
He just makes everyone around him better.
Everyone around him becomes an elite player.
Yeah.
Chris Hogan. A guy who was undrafted, who was nothing better than a slot receiver in Buffalo, is now his number one target. Martellus Bennett.
Okay, tight end.
Well,
I've always liked that.
above average tight end. Great with Brady. He made Benjamin Watson a great tight end, and Benjamin Watson is not the best tight end in the NFL. He's great, and I love Benjamin Watson. He's one of the most wonderful people in the NFL. Walter Payton Man of the Year award winner, great guy, one of the greatest people to ever play the game. But he wasn't the best, but Brady made him good because he was Tom Brady.
You know who else we forgot?
Who?
Gronk.
No, I said Gronk.
Did you?
I did say Rob Gronkowski. Would Rob Gronkowski be this monster if, let's say, he was getting thrown to by Jay Cutler or Matthew Stafford?
He'd be good, but not
or
that good.
Sam Bradford or
Even Andy Dalton.
Or Romo, Kirk Cousins. Well, actually, I think Kirk Cousins is pretty good.
Yeah, he is.
I love Kirk Cousins. I love watching him play. But then the Redskins already have a good tight end. They got Jordan Reed.
Right.
Perfect. But, yeah, I mean, Gronk is a perfect example. Gronk is this Mr. Excitement, this primetime phenomenon, because, in large part, because of of what Tom Brady can do for him.
And how about the score? You almost called the score.
I said 31-27, or 31-23.
You said 31-24, I believe.
24. Yeah, I might have said that.
Something along those lines.
Something along those lines. I said
it ended up being, what, 34-28?
34-28. By the way, I'm calling this out. Ian Schaefer on Facebook commented on the video and said Patriots win 34-28, and he was right. So Ian, if you watch this video, man, you're amazing. You're getting like a free T-shirt or something. if we make T-shirts.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll eventually get the Wolf T-shirts. Wolf T-shirts, Wolf car stickers. We'll have
everything.
Wolf
mugs.
We'll have like little mugs. That's, has our like radio pro.
Yeah.
So that's just the thing about Tom Brady though. He's
greatest of all time.
Greatest of all time, and he makes and he also does things, as we said, that numbers, statistics cannot measure, and that is how great he makes the people around him.
And his leadership.
How much he leads. How great the people around him are because of him. Also he's one of the. I've never met Tom Brady, but I've heard from people who have met Tom Brady. He's one of the classiest, most respectful, kindest people you'll ever meet. President Trump, who normally doesn't like a lot of people, has great things to say about Tom Brady. That should tell you something. It's just, there's things numbers can't measure that we see every week with Tom Brady.
Right. Totally agree, Sam.
Also, Tom Brady, why do they even have an offensive coordinator in England? He can coach himself.
Exactly.
At this point, Tom Brady should be quarterback/offensive coordinator. Hey, Josh McDaniels does a good job, though.
Great job.
He does a great job. He should be head coach somewhere. Patriots defense. What do we take away from the defense? Or actually, no. Let's stop the Patriots. Atlanta. What do we take away from them after this? You're up 28-3 with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. You give up 31 in a row and lose. What's your takeaway from that? Is this on Dan Quinn? Is this on the defense? Is this on Ryan? Is this on Julio?
I don't really know if you can put it on anybody because
it's just a collective.
It's like if you think about it, it's kind of like when Montana beat the Bengals back in the day.
Well, the Bengals
under 2 minutes.
2 minute warning. The Bengals were up by 6.
Playing one of the best teams probably.
The Bengals
ever.
had shut down Joe Montana that entire.
One of the best
game.
teams ever, and they lose. So
not only lose, they kick off. I watched it. They kick off to San Francisco, and San Francisco only gets it out to like the 17-yard line, and they go pretty much the length of the field in under 2 minutes.
So in my opinion, it's like that. Like you can't blame anyone. They just lost to one of the greatest quarterback of all time. Like you can't put that on anyone really. And if Edelman doesn't make that amazing catch, game over.
My gosh.
They would have.
Well, it would have been 4th down if he doesn't make that play. And who knows what Tom Brady could do? Would have done on 4th down.
Right.
He's Tom Brady, but.
What do you think about Atlanta? Who do you put the blame on?
I can't really find one person, to be honest with you. It's a collective group loss. Your defense started letting up and letting. The thing is,
I don't think they ran the ball enough.
No, they didn't. But here's my thing. When there is, don't let up. Even the Super Bowl, don't let up.
Right.
Because if you give Tom Brady time to get himself back in the game, he sure will, and he'll do it every time.
Yep.
And he'll do it in the most the most showmanship fashion. He's done it so many times, though. Here's a little fact about Tom Brady. Every time he's won the Super Bowl, you know what all 5 of those games have in common?
What?
The Patriots were losing at halftime. All 5 of those games. St. Louis, Carolina, Philly, Seattle, and Atlanta. Patriots were losing at halftime in all 5 of those games. And Brady, defenses let up. Brady found a way to get himself back in there. And he made the plays he had to.
Yeah.
And he found a way to win.
So he's the greatest of all time?
Which is why he's the greatest quarterback of all time. Precisely.
I think that does it for this episode.
That does it. By the way, once again, Ian Schaefer gets a shout out. And also, hold it before we start, I'd like to give a shout out to the fabulous Lady Pioneers basketball team. Amazing season. Best season in school history. You all are great. Congratulations.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Peace out.